In my initial panic after buying the R5II, realizing what a terrible mistake it was, the files were hard to edit, things were not right, I only had a speed booster, I didn't get to see the full frame glory. I sold my Nikon Z6 III, I was like, what have I done? But I've since come to realize this could replace not only the Nikon, it already did, the Canon C70 as well, we'll see today, and the Sony.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
All right, we've got a bunch of comparisons to do today. Now that I have the regular RF to EF adapter, I can now do full frame actuality versus the C70 with the speed booster, which is almost full frame. DJI sensor, most dynamic range in the business. I didn't even turn on a hard to see light. We're gonna learn so much information from those lights. It sickens me to even imagine it. Okay, so let's switch to the R5II. Let us see, is the C70 worth it? Because it's a cinema cam, it's DGO, it's raw, it's powerful, it's the cinematic look that this might not have, more clinical garbage, Sony-like almost. Let us see if that's the case. Boom. Now my initial fear was that the C70 is known for its cinema quality image. It's so skin tone like in its abilities, and then a mirrorless is usually sharper, more stabby. It's not the same thing at all, but there is potential that full frame overrides whatever bullshit Super 35 you're trying to do. Side by side. Huh? Now we're seeing it. Although it's very hard to expose correctly. God, we're gonna learn nothing, but really, I will go outside at some point in a future video, obviously, and test no clipping the sky, and then how much shadows can we build back up in our hearts. So right now we're in XF ABC, the 10-bit 422, but also we're in 4K fine. There's so many different damn codecs in here, it will drive me insane. But we're also in the lowest quality of that. It's long GOP. Frickin', you don't want your footage long gopped. It'll hurt. I want to compare some different codecs just to see what's the lowest end 4K versus raw 4K. Can we even see a difference? Let's do that on the 50mm though. C70 first, of course. Okay, that brings us to my first rant. For whatever reason, the C70 has raw recording and it's brilliantly easy to edit. It's perfect. What the hell did you do in the R5II that makes your RAW impossible to edit? I can do it if I lower my timeline resolution to a quarter, and then I'm like, okay, I can play it, whatever, we'll get through this together. But it makes me second guess my whole life. I just built that PC. If I had just went with an NVIDIA card, with all the fanboys down there, you should have went NVIDIA. I know, I'm aware now. But I wasn't gonna reward Canon for putting terrible codecs in your industry. You're ruining my life. Like, it was perfect. Nikon is so much better in their codecs, and that's what crushes me inside. It's like, I prefer, so far, the R5II superior to the Z6 III in every way. Just like way smoother autofocus, way more polish. The IBIS is better, color's decent, if not better. Everything about it except the damn files are hard to edit. Are we gonna notice any differences in the tonne comparisons? Is it gonna be wider, full framer, more tonne balls? If I prefer that image to the C70, we sell. We buy high and sell low. I don't mind, that's what Jesus would do. Okay, R5II, same lens, full frame glory now. Some exposures had to be tweaked, a slight touch. I don't know why. Don't really know what I'm doing exposure-wise, trying to match a Super 35 with certain specs to this with an ND. I had to take the ND off. A lot of things changed. I was hoping they would stay the same, but I clearly don't know what I'm doing. That's the most unfortunate thing about high-end gear with a moron. Like when a monkey's trying to handle a R5II, like program stuff, he doesn't do it right. But if this image is even close, some might even prefer this, just like it's obvious. When I did a little side by side, it seemed like this was just more contrasty a bit, which is bad for cinema life, but it looked better to me. It's just full frame anyway. And then like, do you need this hefty freak of a thing that's many thousands of dollars? Why would you? I don't know, man. It's really all about the RAW. Is that even a thing? Does anyone care? I did just order a green screen. It'll be here soon. And in that sense, 12-bit helps you cut out the green so you don't have like green in your hair and shit. But initially when I got this camera, I thought I was getting 8K 60 RAW for wildlife, and then 4K RAW in here, which is like, okay, cool, that's C70 killer. And then 4K 120, HD 240, fun slow-mo wildlife stuff, and street videography. And I didn't realize that the 28mm 2.8 had 3D pop potential. So I just bought that. That's on its way. This could replace everything. It's just, do I need RAW? So let's just see it. Right now we're in the pretty much lowest quality you can get, long opt. Let's RAW it up. So first, side by side. I was gonna say like, can you tell which one is which? Obviously I'm the one talking in RAW now, so it's not gonna be that much of a mystery, but can you guess which one is RAW and which isn't? Can we even see it at all? Punching right on in there. Like, wow, RAW, it's so much better. If we push it, does one fall apart? I've been pushed harder in my life. So there's RAW. So we're in SRAW light. You could do SRAW higher, regular, just bigger files. I don't know what that would do, but is this hard to edit? Can I play it at half resolution? Can I do it at a quarter without stuttering? So like, if I have to do that, okay, whatever, that's fine. We have RAW, oh my God, I'm mirrorless with RAW. Will Nikon even let you do that anymore with the red suing lawyers? Okay, now we're in HEVC. It's a higher level than where we started initially with XFAVC, but that was easy to edit. Now we're not RAW, but is this hard to edit still? As if RAW was hard. RAW was hard and this is also hard? Yeah? If so, I'm leaving your life forever. And last test in here, we're just in 8K now. That same 420, we're long opt, but we're 8K. Not RAW, not anything fun, but 8K. It's necessary in a living room because you can back up, ow, and get stabbed by your chair, and your lighting is still amazing, and then you're followed, huh? So you came to me, even though the lighting sucks now. We're here, we're now. Now let me tell you why this might replace everything I own and simplify my life. Just, even though it's a false advertisement camera, where like I can't play the 8K 60 RAW, I'm not getting 4K RAW, it's hard to edit, whatever. Even with those, we probably have not even seen the difference at all. We're now in the highest possible XFAVC codec, 400 megabits per second, all intra up in this thing. And it might overheat, we'll see. And funny thing, just side sponsor rant, Ulanzi just sent me this. I was like, what the hell are you doing? But it's actually quite genius design for the overheating, which might come in this thing. You just put it in any camera pretty much, and you're done. You just turn it on there. Is it silent? There's 2 levels, off. Level 1 now. I hear it. I definitely hear it. And level 2. I hear it quite a bit more. I can feel the breeze. Interesting. Will it shake off? That probably damaged something inside my camera, but that's, now you're not screwing anything on. That's a genius little, wow, that is loud. It smells. Affiliate links, anyone? Yeah, they're down there. But that's a genius little thing. It's powered on its own. Don't do it, Canon. Just be with me here. And then you just turn it on and off, charge it with USB-C. Not bad. Not bad. I might even need it on this. Who knows? I don't see any warnings. 28mm might be your sweet spot. That's a clickbaity video waiting to happen. Meet your new best friend, 28mm. It's coming. So like that for vlogging on a long tripod could be good, and then you turn it around. This is not just for creeptography, it's for like travel vlogging. You want to film some slow motion stuff of the city you're visiting with your privileged white American dollars, and you're like, wow, my money's worth so much here, I'm a king. And then you film the people, the peasants, and then you move on, and 28mm might be good for that. And it's tiny and light, not as light as this, but Sony it's the light body, heavy lens. This is heavy body, light lens. Different. Okay, this could be a mistake. We're in HDR. I don't know what the hell that even means. Pretty much, you get this camera, you're in C-Log2 forever. That's all you need. There's no reason to be switching into weird gimmick modes like this and auto-exposing now, but... So like, another reason this could be my only camera, the 600mm Tony 11 for wildlife, 28mm for vlogging and slow motion street videography. If you want a little slight more cinematic touch, the 50mm EF, adapting all those lenses like native performance. I'm in 8K and I turned all the sharpening up to max. I'm starting a beauty channel, and this is what I've noticed. This is the best. Faithful, and then in post, you add a touch of sharpness, little mid-tone details, maybe maxed out, and then you have like a dynamic scene, and then you add a little 3D contrast pop, huh? And then it's like, come on, try to compete with me. Just set and forget on that one. Set it and forget it. All right, we're back in C-Log2 normal stuff. Sorry, I waste so much of your precious time. So I'm kind of thinking this could be the best thing ever. It really could. Just, it all depends on that 600mm Tony 11 Prime. What's that like? Because I know it's gonna be the lightest thing I've ever touched, prime-wise. And maybe Canon is my home this whole time. It was under the radar. I didn't know when I was in Thailand and that 6D Mark II came out. Maybe that was the perfect camera. Didn't need slow-mo. Just use a little topaz enhance and you're fine. So it's like Canon, the one system to rule them all, potentially. I know a couple videos ago I said I was gonna sell it before those lenses even came in. And we've done a little 180 on this. I'm not known for that, but you could do worse. You could do worse. And you don't need the R5II, obviously, but I wanted the C-Log2, that was very important, and HD 240. To get that, like, you could get the R3 for the same cost, and it's even bigger, no C-Log2, but they have the HD 240. But like, I could have got away with an R6 Mark II, technically, for the wildlife. I ain't going back to C-Log3 ever. So like, I don't know, man, I got some debates, depending on this footage, potentially selling the C70 off, but it's kind of fun that I can switch back and forth. I just have to find a use. Once we go outside, we'll see, is the C70 so much better out there? The dynamic range, built-in NDs, like there's a lot to love about that, but if this is good enough, then my life is simplified. I love decluttering then, just having one thing. I can't imagine ever selling that Sony though. Like, it's just so tiny and cute, and the Zeiss lenses, and then maybe they make a Mark II one day that destroys everything in here, but I kind of like the idea of picking a system, staying in there for like 10 years while everybody else starts buying stuff. There's the gas monkeys, and they're just like, oh man, I upgraded, I switched. Here's why you should, here's why I left Fuji to win. None of that nonsense. You just focus on production and making fun stuff, unlike today's video. Unfortunately, it was just a bunch of tests. I had to know what's my best modes going forth. Put you in the best light possible, and then we'll see. Okay, in future comparisons, we're doing the 4K 400 megabits or something. I have to know, is RAW good enough? It's never good enough. So, fun times ahead, green screen coming. Glimmer glass for that 28mm. Thank you for the Bitcoin donations. I will put it towards a Canon R5 Mark VII in 91 years, after I reincarnate into a mouse. Subscribe for more.